Yeah, hey, sorry about that. Everybody wants to call me at this present moment because I don't know. it really gets on my nerves. It grinds my gears. But anyway, welcome to another episode of Politics and Wellness. I am your host, Captivating Christian, and you guys, of course, are my co-hosts. I don't know if you guys can hear me. Hopefully, everybody can hear me. Hey, Golden Goods, how are you? Nice to see you, Brother Nate. What is going on? I know Patty Duke is probably somewhere in the balcony getting herself together, so welcome to you. And anybody else who's in the balcony listening. Hopefully, you all have had a start of a good week. Um, since last week, a lot has happened. So I don't, know where to start with all of that. But okay, cool. Thank you. I try to be as refreshed as possible. It's hard sometimes because it's a lot to do, and hearing some of the same stories over and over can be a bit much. But you pull through and you keep it moving because what you do is far greater than yourself. So um, again, for me, it ain't all about the numbers. It's really about getting the message across to the people. And if it comes to that, or fans, or people that watch, great. But I'd rather you walk away with something you didn't know before than just to sit here and look at me like, don't get me wrong, great, you can look. I mean, I've been blessed. I ain't gonna lie. But it's more to me. It's more to the world. It's more to a lot of things that we deal with on a day-to-day basis than just that. So it's so much to unpack, and where to start, who knows. And again, I welcome you all. If you have stories or things you come across, you're more than welcome. For those of you who follow me on Instagram, to definitely check me out on Instagram. You can send it. You know what, Nate? I'm not doing this with you today. Yes, you look like frankincense and myrrh, whatever. You're more than welcome to drop a story. I will tell you if I read it already. If I didn't, I will tell you I didn't. And thank you. Don't take it personal. It's just that we get so much information. I read so much. Some of it I forget. Some of it I've talked about it so long ago that now that it's coming, to full force, it's like, oh, well, we talked about that a while ago. Speaking of which, I know we'll talk about some other things, but as you may have heard, Russia is gearing up for whatever could be possible war and or a quote unquote accident. Which one, I'm not surprised. If anybody had followed me through the Trump administration years, especially when I did the midday, the midday news, there was definitely a lot of activity going on in over in Alaska, with Russian planes flying very close to U.S. territory, so much so that fighter jets had to come out there a few times and basically tell the mofos to back the hell up before they blew them up. But of course, all this was overshadowed by Trump and his buffoonery. So of course, a lot of people did not pay attention. And while all of Trump's illegal kind of wheelings and dealings and stuff was being brought to light, Russia was having a field day. Basically training out in the ocean, preparing for what could possibly be their time to say, you know what, gotcha, bitch. You want to sanction us? You want to sanction our people? I got something for you. And basically to put it to the American people that because you got rid of Trump, now this is the consequence. Hey, what's going on, everybody who walked into the room? Thank you for coming. Welcome to Cap Hill. I ask that you hit that thumbs up button, please, and thank you. What's up, Smart Show? How are you? Candy Cane, what's going on? So that's part of what's going on with that, which, of course, like I said, I'm not surprised. Couple of stories that I didn't touch with last week that I meant to. The LA County area, there was a beach that was prominent by a lot of black families that basically, like any other black neighborhood back in the day when white people wanted to take it, they just took it. And it's really what they did to this beachside community that African Americans used to go to, live in. And now the LA County is talking about returning some of these black families to this area. Don't really know how they're going to do that without financially giving them the money. But who knows? We'll talk about that a little bit. I don't really want to talk about another Karen. I'm over Karens. There was something I did highlight. Give me a second. The NFL wanting to now sing the what some people know as the Negro National Anthem or the Black National Anthem at all of their games. And I'm thinking, is that enough? Most of your players are black, African American, whatever they want to call themselves. So just singing the Black National Anthem is definitely not enough. Definitely not enough when you had players protesting peacefully to things that were happening to people in their communities where they come from, and you trash them. You let the president trash them. You let your fan base trash these players. And now you think letting them sing Lift Every Voice and Sing is going to have them lift what? Their asses and play? Yeah. No, I'll pass on that. And if I was really strong in my feelings and a player, I'd probably pass on that too, because I think that's BS. The Republican Party recently talked about, of course, you know, they call themselves the party of family values and patriotism. They recently tried to put forth a plan that basically excommunicated needy families. They basically wanted to give any aid and fund and support, or funding and support, to families of means. Again, this even chomping at their own base, because a lot of their own base live in the most poorish or low-line educational areas in these United States. So make it make sense. It really is, you know, I mean, granted, people don't like to always talk about race, but it really boils down to race. Because there's no way that a party whose base is in the center of these United States, and a lot of these states in the center of the United States and lower southern parts of the United States, have a lot of poor people, and they're not necessarily people who are black and brown and so on and so forth. So it's interesting how they can set forth programs or try to put forth programs that only help a certain few. Very interesting to me, but anyway. Upon that, yeah, some other stuff we're going to talk about. There is something that we did talk about last week when we were talking about the race riots and how the media, way back in the 1900s, early 1900s and on, played a part, especially the newspapers, played a part in spreading the propaganda about black men, black women being rapists and pillaging neighborhoods, that around the same time with the Tulsa, Oklahomas and the many places in Florida and other places around these United States, when white folks felt that they were not getting, that they were losing their space or their place. Hey, what's up, Tanari? How are you? I saw you pop in, but I was too busy running my mouth. But hey, and Patty Duke, you are here. Great to see you. But when these people, and not all white people, but what I need people to understand, because I know a lot of people say, but you can't do that because you alienate your white fan base or whatever. And it's not about alienation. It's really about just stating a fact. It really is matter of factly. It was what it was. But it would behoove. It does behoove me, rather, that when you know better, you don't do better. And I mean that to say that, speaking to the white counterparts or people who would like to call themselves allies, when you know better or when you know of the injustices, then why not educate your own people on the injustices and the reason why we have situations like Black Lives Matter and so on and so forth. It's almost like, you want us to stop talking about it, but yet things are still happening. So it's like you got to pick you got to kind of pick a side here on what you're going to do. And that's no disrespect. And I'm not rushing anybody to jump in the front. But my whole thing is, if you're really going to be an ally, if you're really going to stand for truth and true history, his story, to be factual, then take that stand. And it's not about putting one race down and lifting one race up, but it's about telling the truth of a people, telling the truth of many people that have helped this nation grow. And it wasn't just a group of 4 to 5 wealthy white men who built this nation, and then we just passed that along like, oh yeah, look, we white folks created all of this, and now we can share it with you, and you should be happy that we allow you to indulge in all this. Look how far you've come. And it's just like, but they built it, so it's disrespectful. Let's see. In my view, I'll just say that. It's disrespectful in my view. Everybody stop calling me right now, please. Let me lose my place where I was. Oh yeah. So anyway, I say all that to say DC was not having it during the same time that Oklahoma was happening, and other places like Rosewood in Florida and many other cities. The same thing happened. A white woman, well, first of all, from reading the papers of all of these things that were going on, that these black men were kind of harassing white women, and the papers egging all of this on, there were a few incidences where black men were being harassed by just regular white folks, threatened to be hung, shot, killed, all kinds of stuff. No protection was given. So, as always, there was a story that this white woman was harassed by 3 black men. And that's all they needed to gaslight their attempt to have what happened other places to DC, right? But there was a different turn of events. And what happened, which was kind of pretty cool, considering a lot of the World War II veterans and World War I veterans, excuse me, and just people who were in the war in the Navy migrated to DC, and they stayed here. So they stayed in DC, they armed themselves, and they protected their area and they protected the people. So they walked with people to and from work or home or school or what have you, around about the Howard University area. They would even be on rooftops. And if they couldn't or didn't have a gun, they would have bricks and throw bricks at white folks trying to, kill, burn, do whatever. So much so that the city had ordered that the gun shops stop selling guns to black people. And then, of course, all this legislation, even back then, came out against guns and gun regulations, but basically so that black men and women could not arm themselves. Not that they couldn't arm themselves, but we could not protect ourselves against them. And of course, a lot of this history goes untalked about or unnoticed because, of course, you're talking about people who stood up against people trying to oppress them, and they act like we didn't do anything. Like slavery was it. And after slavery, we didn't really do anything else. You had the right to do what you wanted. And that's pure BS. At every turn, there was some sort of oppressive just thing going on. And I understand when people say, well, now you can't blame the quote unquote white man. It's all about you. And you have to pull yourself up by your own bootstrap. And I hear that argument. But to that argument, it's plain and simple. Look at your boots and look at their boots. Now you could say, I pulled myself up by my own bootstraps. Okay, but then you can look at your situation clear as day and go, where I am right now in my life, if I had those opportunities afforded to me with no questions asked, just because of who I am, walk through the door, would my life be different? If your answer is yes, then you're not. You're not a victim, no say, but you're a casualty of oppression. And it's just like, cool, we need to admit that to ourselves. One, we need to find a way to combat it instead of trying to act like it didn't exist, or we've so moved past it that it's a new day. When we have regulation today, right now, Texas, and I really believe Texas is going to usher in this kind of purge atmosphere moving forward. And watch what I say. Purge, that whole Purge movie from the first one to this latest one, especially this latest one, with them being already in Texas, was like way too telling. But I really think that Texas is going to usher in this kind of purging of people situation for me. I don't know why, I just do. With this governor really trying to submit his wheelchair in Trumpian, in white supremacy, and everything that is of European dominant culture. I say that to say this. He has wheeled his ass with the Texas senators to basically change a lot of things about the history that is taught in Texas schools. For one, which is the biggest one, the KKK, otherwise known as the Ku Klux Klan, would not be considered a hate group or a group that was immoral. So basically, their argument to the destruction that the KKK had brought onto millions of people throughout the centuries, even still, as they go unchecked, under different names of Proud Boys and whatever else bullshit they want to call themselves, they'll say, well, it's just like Black Lives Matter. Now, I've never known any Black Lives Matter protesters to hang anybody, to dismember anybody, to take pictures under mutilated, destroyed bodies of anyone. I can't call a situation. But what I can recall are the countless bodies that lay swinging from trees and people went unpunished. So I just find it to be a bit much. Not only that, they're removing a lot of Martin Luther King speeches from the curriculum. They are removing a lot of things that have everything to do with history and really telling the truth of their nature. And the sad part to all of this is that a lot of young people don't even care about the history that is put before them today. So moving forward, you end up with a group of people that could easily end up in a situation that we were once in, that we thought we had moved so far past from. So it's just things that make you go, just a little bit. My hope and my prayer is always that we encourage ourselves and enrich ourselves. And not that we have to exclude ourselves, because we don't. But you have to study to know yourself approved. I mean, the word says it, but it reigns true. You have to study. So sometimes you have to, in studying, you do a thing where you sometimes you study in a group, sometimes you study alone, and sometimes you just have to study alone. And that is just, it is what it is. Again, it's not about excluding anyone or trying to say, well, one is better than the other. Not really saying that. History has proven that. So I don't need to say that. But in the same breath, when you've lived your life going through grade school to the point of high school, where everything that you know, for the most part, with limited, things here and there that include people that look like you, everything was, hey, this is this is your history. These white men came together and signed this document. Not mentioning, well, there were some black folks involved in that signing of the document, but they're not in no pictures. When you go to Independence Hall in Philadelphia and go see the Liberty Bell, all you see is white men, wealthy white men. There's no mention of anybody who helped orchestrate, who helped do anything to put together the document we know as the Declaration of Independence. Not a soul that happens to look like any one of us. But we are to believe that these great people came all the way from across the sea, saw this nation and was like, you know what, today we're just gonna make this an extension of what we have. No, it was a whole thing to spread whiteness or European dominance over the world. That's just what it was. Plain and simple. No cut cards about it. No cut cards about it at all. And when you're able to lure other groups to help you in that effort by giving them guns and your women and all these other things, to then kidnapping folks, bringing them over here, and now acting as if they are the burden. And what's the point of reparations? And what's the point of this? And what's the point of that? What do you mean? What do you mean? Now, I can't fault. I cannot. I cannot really be mad at a white person or a person of mayonnaise hue, and I only say mayonnaise when they're crazy, that did not utilize their privilege. That's not my problem. And we need to stop apologizing and being sympathetic for these jars of mayonnaise that did not exercise their privilege. Like the people involved in the insurrection, they did not utilize their privilege. Not my problem. Not my problem at all. If it was given to, if you took it and you didn't take advantage of what you took, not my problem. But because, and that only happened because you've been ingrained and you've been trained that what your ancestors took, you deserved it. And it was inherited to you. So then you follow suit like, well, then I don't need to do nothing because it's mine anyway. And that's just what, that's the behavior and the display we have now. We have this kind of, well, it's mine. This is our country. USA, this is my country. Whose country is this? We all immigrants to some degree, right? But let them tell it, no, we're not. The only people that are immigrants are people that don't look like them. So I just things that make you go, that's all I can say about that. That is it. But what is going on, everybody? Thank you guys for coming in, stopping in, checking it out. I appreciate it. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know what to do, what we can do. I don't have a mayonnaise emoji. No, I wish we did. But yeah, these folks, they're something else. They really are. They are something else. Spoiled milk, all kinds of this. I don't know. I mean, I sat this morning and watched one of the most wealthiest white men take his brother and some other random Caucasians to look at the edge of, or the tip of the earth, space realm, kind of, sort of, not really, and the rest of the world just look in awe, like, oh, look at these great Americans doing a great thing. And I just thought to myself, here they go again. Here they go again, making sure they solidify their place in history. Here they go. Here they go, as if now what we're going to usher in is this sense of space travel and or, you know, for hundreds of thousands of dollars, you can get a spaceship yourself and look at the earth below. I mean, what are we doing? Yet you got your other white counterparts on the other side ready to blow this to smithereens. Just waiting for a moment. Just waiting for a moment. And more than likely, it's going to be a moment when the other yellow jar of mayonnaise or the orange jar of mayonnaise hits rock bottom and everything becomes exposed and he can't hide from anything and it really starts to heat up. Then I think his old right pocket man, who he's been kind of giving secrets to the whole time, is going to help him out, do something crazy. So then we're all like, oh, don't look over here, look over there. That's all this is going to be. So, you know, I don't know. I mean, I think Joe's a little asleep, but, you know, I'm not surprised. I think the Democrats are too busy trying to make nice with people who really don't give a fuck. And I think that's unfortunate and sad. I think that's why they wind up losing seats come midterms, is because they do not fight. They don't have the same fight in them that the Republicans have. But this is why, because a lot of Democrats are white people. And white people don't fight against white people. They really don't. Like, they don't go hard. They can see injustice and be like, oh, that's unfair. But they won't go hard as in, oh, that's unfair. You did it. They won't go that hard. Not to themselves, not with themselves. They'll do it to you, but they won't do it to themselves. And a white person could be totally in the wrong. Look at the white chick that was in the Victoria's Secrets. Totally in the wrong. And I'm looking at all the white folks not say nothing. Even the other white lady said, oh, could you put that down? Could you stop recording her? And then the other white lady talk about some, oh, yeah, can't you see she has a problem? She's not all there. What does that mean? She was all there when she came lunging towards my ass. She was all there. So now all of a sudden, because she's acting the plum in the goddamn panty store, she's not all there. I mean, make it make sense. And the fact that the police officers, because I watched it again, I watched the whole thing all over again because I just wanted to confirm it for myself, that the police officers literally told her, excuse me, no, we can't kick her out. What do you mean? What do you mean? If any one of us caused a disturbance like that, we wouldn't even be waiting on the police. The mall security would have kicked our asses out and held us in a confined area till the police got there. And then the police would have escorted you the rest of the way out of the goddamn mall. Think I'm lying? Try it. Are you ready, sir? Okay. If you think I'm lying, try it. Try it and see what happens.
Good evening, everybody. How y'all doing? Hey. I didn't want to cut you off in the middle of your rant.
Oh, no. You don't do that. Don't do that. We're good. And then, right, I just watched one where the young man was walking in to the Walmart, and the Spanish, again, I tell you, they talk about, oh, no, they don't consider themselves to be white. I don't see how not. I don't see how not. Yeah, they do.
A lot of them. If they can pass and get away with it, they do.
Right. If they can be accepted by the Mayonnaise Coalition, they'll rock right along with it. So she accuses this man of stealing her son's phone or her phone or whatever the case may be. Literally following him and trying to get on the phone with the police. And you know what the son did? The son comes from out the car with the phone. And she's, where were you? Oh my God. Not once did she apologize at all. She told the man to go fuck himself.
Mm-hmm. But thanks to Black Twitter, they tracked that bitch down.
Right.
And found out that she does work at Kaiser Permanente.
Yeah, right.
Now, you have to really be looking hard to pay attention to what's written on somebody's shirt. They put her ass under the microscope.
Yeah,
they were probably sitting there. They were probably sitting there on their phones doing like this, trying to blow it out.
Slow-mo, like stop, stop. That looks like that, yeah. But it's ridiculous that you can do something like that, say something like that, and that be okay. For years, it's been little. I mean, I've worked in some places where whatever the infraction was didn't even involve the employee. It happened to be like a boyfriend. And because she was in the paper with him, or something had happened where like they put her name in the paper along with him, but he was the only one that actually did whatever it was, like had the fight, they fired her.
Yep.
So it's like I've seen situations like that happen to our people tons of times. You don't even have to be truly involved. If your name is mentioned or you're somewhat, this is not going to work because that's not reflective of.
Yes, we can't have these incidents going on.
Right. So now that they're getting a bit of this energy, gotcha bitch energy, I'm here for it. I'm here for it. And I don't feel no type of way about nobody canceling their jobs, because you cannot walk around thinking, oh, yeah, this one stole my phone. Oh, get my phone from him. Like homegirl that tackled that 15-year-old boy. Get my phone.
Yeah.
Get my phone. What do you mean? And you think you're supposed to have the rest of your life in peace and be cool and calm and collective? At any moment, that could have been somebody else. And thank God his father was there.
Well, what about the young boy that was beaten by the neighbor?
Right. That was whipped by the neighbor. And at first, I ain't gonna lie, before I saw the video, I thought it was somebody black. I said, oh, that's
yeah, you know what? I thought about that too.
I was like, that's some old-fashioned black, like,
yeah, that's
but when I saw the video, I was just like,
yeah. Well, first of all, he was too white. Then second of all, he was too young. He was only 29 years old.
Yeah, that's right.
When you see an older person would do that.
Without seeing it and just hearing it, instantly I thought, oh, some old person went to town.
I know, whip somebody's ass.
Right. Literally whip somebody's ass.
And I've actually seen that.
Yeah, I've seen
that. So that was like, I wouldn't even give a second thought. Miss So-and-so down the street took the strap to so knowing she ain't even hit him.
Right.
She spent more energy just swinging.
My great aunt, God rest her soul, she would do the same thing. Like she'd be like, "What are you doing?" And I'm like, "What? Wait a minute, who are you trying to hit? Like, wait a minute, lady." But my mother would be like, boy, if you don't, and you're like, okay. But for that, it was just like, whoa. First of all, you needed to address the parents first. Like that should have happened first, and then if you got that kind of relationship where she gave you, that kind of, well, you can correct him or whatever, then so be it. But if Billy and Bob over here saying the same exact cuss words and you don't have no
smoke for them.
You're not running around with that belt whipping all the kids. You're just running around in the belt whipping him.
well, nowadays I wouldn't even take a belt to a kid. That motherfucker might pull out a piece and pop a cap in my ass out there.
Or just whoop your ass like a Trayvon Martin and just whoop your ass, and then you feel so like less human that you really gotta pull out a gun and shoot a kid.
And you gotta shoot a kid.
Because you was fighting him in the dark. Like some old pedophile. Get out of here. Like get out of here. But until that starts happening, where people are like, you know what, enough's enough, and people start getting caps in their asses, then then we're gonna want to have a sit down. But what's the point of having these sit down or having all this extra protection, like the white man who was talking all that crap shit till everybody came to his Cherry Hill neighborhood.
Oh yeah.
To
right. Yeah, the dumbass that actually gave out his address.
Right.
And I guess he assumed that no one was going to show up at his door.
No, because he felt like the man he was addressing, who was a smaller man, even like myself, didn't really have nobody behind him to go, oh, yeah.
Yeah, but he had all that stomach.
Yeah, right.
He had all that stomach, I mean, that was pretty much it. It wasn't muscles.
It wasn't muscles, right. No, it was stomach and mouth. But then but now, because he was arraigned on some charges, but kind of has to await trial, but he can leave, they're boosting up security for him.
It's only because he's white.
Why? What's the point? Why? Do like you do to the rest of us who are black and brown, put you in some extra chains, a bulletproof vest, and some extra guards, and walk your ass in there. You don't get all that extra. You don't get nothing extra. Put you in a black van like they do everybody else, rough them up in the back of the van like you do everybody else, and send them on the court.
Yeah.
Looking like who did it and why.
Yeah, but he gets protection at his house.
Right. Why? Well,
and that was of his own doing. That was of his own doing.
But that's my point. They do these things, and then they want to go back and go, oh, but no, please don't. I didn't. I was just trying to protect my family and my neighborhood. But clearly, that
had nothing to do with that shit.
Nothing. Right?
Because he was secure enough to talk about things that had happened in the neighborhood.
Tell these niggas, and you know what happened to so and so? Yeah, because I was at work. Yeah, of course you was at work, but you know all about it, right? You at work, but you know all about how it happened, what happened. Yeah, okay. But there's not going to be a further investigation or having that case, whatever that was, reopened, right? Come on, get out of here. Like, it's ridiculous. It is absolutely ridiculous. Even going back to homegirl in the Victoria's Secret, the other cop was even like, could you please just get away? She said, no, I'm not going nowhere.
No.
I'm staying right here. And, yeah, because why? Is she crying? Like, come on, you're like these white tears, this white tear syndrome, I'm the victim of all this. Give me a break. Give me a break when people have murder on their hands and they're allowed to die in peace at 80 and change. And a little boy lays mutilated in a grave somewhere, and we're supposed to be okay. Even the young man in Louisiana that was found face down in like a little
Kwani James, I believe.
Kwani James, yeah. Look at him. You know how long it took them to arraign the mother? And it's quiet. Why is it quiet? Because they're working on something. They just don't.
Yeah, you can't find anything. You can't find anything that's going on. I've been looking because that's like one of those ones that I actually felt that one.
Yeah, they're gonna slide it under the radar. They're gonna try to do whatever they need to do to make sure it does not create this big like what injustice. Let's go march on it. They working it quietly, just like they worked quietly to finally say, okay, let's bring her in. Why wouldn't you bring her in instantly?
That should have been the first thing since she went and picked him up.
She's the adult in the room that picked them up.
And she was the adult that probably gave them the weed. And they were probably all sitting around, had that motherfucking rotation. Okay.
Sure. Surely were. And whatever happened out there, I'm sure she knew about it later because her son told her.
Yeah.
Or somebody caught her. I just think it's just ridiculous. It really is like enough's enough. But we can focus on so much other stuff that is just like, I was watching.
Yes, there's so much stuff that goes on. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, but the stuff
and like you said, and everything just seems to be distracting from the main story,
right.
The main thing that's going on.
Right. I mean, they'll jump on a Chicago shooting this weekend. Okay. But we don't live in Chicago. I don't live in Chicago. So why is it constantly on my news feed?
Yeah.
Constantly in my face. I don't hear much about local news at all.
It's pretty much national. Well, you know what they're doing? They're playing up the don't not defund the police. So what they're doing is they're playing up all the crime things that are going on. But yet you're telling people, you have some states that are putting things in motion where you don't even need a license to carry a gun. Okay. Right. And you wonder why everybody has a gun.
Right.
You can have little kids get killed in an elementary school and not do anything.
Right. Some people don't have to have a license.
Mm-hmm.
That ain't for everybody. It's always limited. But like you just said, they can shoot up little kids in an elementary school and do nothing.
Mm-hmm. Nothing. Yeah, where's all the fire from the parents? They should have been the ones up there the 6th of January. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. They should have been the ones up there because they did fucking nothing. And you have elementary. See, we don't have that problem in black schools because you got to go through all. You ever try to get into a black school down here in the city? You can't even get in the building.
But that's what I'm saying. But that's what they do. You know what I'm saying? Like the pressure and the extra tight security is always placed, or the eye when people like Big Brother's watching. Big Brother's watching us. While they get to walk around the store stealing all types of shit and walk right out.
Yep.
Oh, I paid for this. I've watched it. I've even watched it at my local Walmart.
You know what? Walmart this week alone has been they the motherfuckers this week. Did you see the 2 women that I think this was in New Jersey? The 2 women that were in there shopping, and evidently one woman's sister was attacked or something earlier, and the cops came in and they handcuffed the one woman, and the other woman was supposedly 3 months pregnant, and she had a young child with her. But not not only that, just
I mean it's
just Walmart in general.
Yeah, I mean
they had a lot of stuff going on.
Walmart's always been the mayonnaise haven for me, but
oh yeah.
But just the simple fact that things that go on, and even going back to, because I was reading an article about the Victoria's Secret thing, and Victoria's Secret has responded and said that their employees acted diligently to subdue the matter and followed protocol that they was trained to do, or whatever. And I just thought to myself, now what protocol was that? Was that allowing that white woman to sit there, scream and holler, get on the floor?
Yeah, I'd have left that bitch right there on the floor.
Do all that kind of craziness.
I'd have threw some panties on, and that'd have been it. Wake up, get you. That'd have been it. And I left it at that.
Or just take it to the fitting room. That's what I just didn't understand. Like, why allow her to still sit there and be crazy instead of just taking her to
because it's not worth it. It's not worth it. Those jobs don't pay anything like that. You have the only one that's probably getting paid is the manager, and she wasn't touching it. She wasn't touching her crazy ass either. And just coming off of COVID, you think that's these fucking mouth breathers out here? You will not have to worry about me ever touching a soul again. Shit.
Well, speaking of that,
but did she get a free panties though?
Who?
The black woman that was the woman that was recording. because she wanted to get. She had a
I don't think
coupon.
so. Yeah, she had a coupon for her free panties. I don't
Shit,
think.
by the time I get finished, I'd have me some.
I think she might now. I think she might now. She might be in the goddamn catalog.
Oh shit! I'd
Really?
have me all kinds of panties. All kinds.
They might put her in the catalog. But did you hear that they talking about she's African? I mean, not that makes a difference, but they actually.
Oh yeah, they were saying that before because they were trying to pronounce her name.
Oh.
Because her name is I believe she's Nigerian.
Oh, okay.
But the whole thing was because her name was, her name's a Nigerian or African.
Well, what's they have to do with anything? I'm confused with the purpose of keep wanting to like make that a point. Like, what difference? The news kept.
I'm really surprised because they nasty. Some of them are nasty. They got some fucked up attitudes. Woo. So I was surprised that she ain't, because they come over with an attitude. Yeah. They come over with that.
Yeah, sometimes.
Damn, all I did was look at you. I said good morning. Well, fuck you too. God damn.
But
why did that spaceship look like a big dick?
Yeah, it did.
I kept looking at that. I was like, damn, they hit on that motherfucker.
That little massage, that massage thing.
The light thing? Yeah. When I saw that, that was crazy as hell. Oh, man, that was crazy. That was great. You definitely got to save that one for the nightcap. You got to say that.
Yeah, I have it. I'm going to add it to the thing. But, yeah, that was, that whole, it was like what I think of Trump. Rich white man playing with a toy.
Yeah. And this is the second one.
Yeah.
And it just, to me, it just feels like a distraction. Like you said, here you have this guy that the second Bezos.
Yeah.
Every time you turn around, you hear something about Amazon.
Right.
They don't directly hire a lot of their workers. They work through an agency. They don't get any benefits. They don't even interview. They do massive interviews. They just pretty much fill out the application and you show up.
Yep, that's it.
But yet you're spending, what is it, $28 million for a seat?
A seat.
I watched that shit. It was too short. Okay, for $28 million, it was too short.
And the lottery that the kid got a chance to get on the ship. His father had
won that. Yeah.
He gave it up because he's afraid of heights. No, he paid to give it up. He threw an extra couple million to whomever. Mm-hmm. So his son could be the first youngest person. Now, see, this is how history gets to carry on. Wealth gets to increase. Mm-hmm. All of this stuff gets to happen. And this boy probably don't have to do nothing else in his life. He's young, the first youngest person ever to touch the realm of space and Earth.
Yeah.
That's it. And he's a white kid. They can walk around the Earth and go, well, I was in the thing with Jeff.
Yeah, that's his claim to fame, and he'll ride it for all it's worth.
Write books, do speeches, get scholarships to Ivy League schools. Not because your grades are great, but just because people will be following you, press will be on you, you will bring spotlights to whatever university you pick. I mean, it's endless. Mm-hmm. But that is the kind of life that they walk into. Like I said earlier, I don't feel sorry for any of them that haven't executed their privilege. It was given to you just like that. Just here you go. Here you go. You could say, I need a loan for my business. Like back in the day, I need a loan for this, that, and the other. Pay you back at so-and-so. Here you go. No issue. Pretty much. Because the people that worked in the bank were your friends and neighbors that you grew up with. Mm-hmm. So pretty much it was just pay me when you can.
Yeah.
We weren't
I'll move the date.
But that's it. We weren't getting that same privilege, but that's why we had to create our own banks and our own situations. And then on top of that, when you felt that we were doing too well without asking you for a damn dime, and you felt some type of way, oh, it was how we gonna get this land or get these people or diminish them. Here we go, get some white woman tears.
Yeah.
Every white man will just stand up and fight, and then later, oh, we need to recant that she lied. But where's the punishment?
Yeah, because when I read that one about DC,
Right.
and I had never heard that.
Never. I swear I only heard that when you sent it, and I read it, and I was like, "Get the hell out of here!" I mean, it don't surprise me, but it does surprise me because it surprised me to the sense where there's a reason why, other than the obvious, that DC has not been chosen to have any kind of representation.
Yeah.
But because they know the history of DC, you know what I'm saying? Like most of the lawmakers, they know that. They know it. They know exactly what it is. How you doing, Charlene? How are you? Nice to see you. Nice to see you. But yeah, I just think it's ridiculous. Like I'm over it. I just wish we start telling the truth. I wish both sides want to be like, hey, you know what? My people did some fucked up shit. And any way I can atone for it, I'm here for it. Not just, oh, well, that was so long ago. I had nothing to do with that. Bullshit.
I don't care. I don't care if they don't tell the truth. As long as we know. As long as we know. I don't need for them to fess up to it. We know what the fuck you did. We know what the fuck, and you know what? We know what the fuck you doing now. That's the whole. That's the crazy part.
Right. That's what that gets me. We can sit here and talk about stuff, but they're doing it right now.
Now, And that's like what I told you last week. I don't care whether or not they have. I mean, whether or not they have it in school. They're having a fit. Talking about critical race theory being in the schools. It's not even in the schools, and these motherfuckers are losing their goddamn minds. Hello. Oops, I guess we lost them, huh? Yeah, we lost him. He said, "Unfreeze that man, Patty Duke." No, that was a booty call. That's what happened. Must have been a big booty call too. Knocked him right off the air. Uh-oh, I'm the show now, Tanari. Hitting the big time. He probably has Comcast like me. It's not worth a damn. Yeah, Patty Duke. Oh no, she shouldn't leave that door open. God. Can't see if he's logged back in.
Okay. But it's summertime, and yeah, this happened. Yeah, that was crazy. Hold on 1 second. Let me redraft this. That was crazy. But hey, what's going on? What's going on? What's going on, everybody? Yeah, so everything just blacked out for a second, and yeah, so sorry about that. But hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome, 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 welcome. Yeah, unfreeze that, man. Yeah, I don't know what's going on. Now that we are not in Chocolate City no more, they think they're giving us a little. Yeah. Frozen again? Am I? Are we still frozen?
Hey.
Am I lagging? Hey, I don't know. I can't tell. It's making you buffer and freeze periodically. Hold on 1 second. Let me check. No, my regular internet's on.
Well, that must have been one hell of a booty call.
It wasn't. It wasn't. I was
That's
like,
all that it wasn't. Sheesh.
well, no. You know they do that them rolling blackout things in the summertime to try and decrease from energy. So I guess that's what they were doing. But so you want to warn somebody first.
Look, I tell you now, as bad as internet's down here this summer, sheesh, we don't even get the rain. We just get a crack of thunder and everything goes out, and then it's messed up for 2 or 3 days. I didn't have this much trouble when all the kids were home. Sheesh.
Using the internet.
Slowing everything down. Stealing it. That's what they were doing, stealing it. Yeah, we just thought it was a massive booty call, and it's like, well, he had to go. He had to go. I told him he could go.
No, it definitely was not that. Oh, you guys come first.
Shit.
It's Tuesday. It'd be different if it was Friday.
Well, you know, there's always next Tuesday. Next Tuesday. Yeah, that looks good on the calendar too. Or maybe Wednesday or Saturday, you know. You're not doing anything. It doesn't matter.
Right.
Shit. Oh, don't be passing it up. You know it is summertime. I'm like, what I tell you, too young.
Listen, it's an extra boost of COVID out there. No, thank you.
No, thank you. You know how to use alcohol, right? You may get some tussin.
They'll wipe it down, everything. Wipe it down.
Now, you know, just come here and let me Lysol you down.
Right. Open your mouth.
Yeah, go straight from that. Sheesh, God. What were we ranting about?
I'm so focused on that. So focused on that. I was like, what the hell? Because it didn't happen right away. Like this light went out, and then everything else started.
Then everything else.
But then I heard everybody out. I was like, hey! I was like, oh. Oh,
okay. Well, you're all up in the Saskatchewan mountains.
Goodness gracious.
Are there any black folk up there?
Yeah, surprisingly enough. I mean, I call it. Oh, you can hear me?
I can hear you now. You froze, but yeah.
Oh wow. Like I call it like a block party, but it's something where like they close down the whole main street. You see all black. You see a whole bunch of black people. Like you're like, damn, I didn't know any black people lived out here. But yeah.
When I was up there, last time I was up there, it was like I was looking for them. I was like, hey, how you doing?
No, they out here now. They out here now. You just go to certain places that the other.
I mean, it was lily white.
Yeah,
lily white.
You go to other places that they frequent, and they'll be looking at you as you open the door, like, "What do you know about this place too?" You know, because we only go to certain places. But most of the people here, they live here, they grew up here, have family here, and it's just like,
yeah.
How could you stay here? Poor thing.
Look, my sister-in-law was sent up there when her company, Citibank, had closed the offices down here, and I was like, "Oh my God, this is like the whitest of white."
Yeah.
It says, "I'm scared. Let me go. It's getting dark. It's time for me to be on that road." All right.
Right. Yeah. Go too far up. Yeah. Go too far up. North.
Yeah, ain't nothing but there but the prison. So.
And you just like,
and that's the most concentrated spot of black people.
Right.
God, too much.
Thank you, Finance One. Thank you so much. Appreciate it.
Oh, you know who you missing? Lynn T.
Yeah, I know, right? Lynn T.
No, you know why? Because she over there making rebels some skeet rags. Oh. Did you hear that this morning?
No, I didn't.
Yeah.
Not some skeet rags.
Skeet rags, yeah. So now he'll be selling skeet rags.
Well, I mean, I guess you can't feel too bad if you skeeting in a rag that's just a rag compared to skeeting in a rag that's supposedly a holy rag.
Ooh.
I'll just let that sit there. So
that has been preyed upon.
Yeah, you don't feel bad.
Yeah, see, I didn't even think about that. This rag has been black. Well, you should have multiple orgasms then.
Why? Because you feel the spirit?
Yeah. Yeah. Sure. Yeah. I'm telling.
Okay. I don't know about that. Right, not the skeet rags. I ain't scared, but I mean, everybody has their own personal skeet rag. I really don't want somebody like blessing.
But a holy one. Yeah. Well, it ain't like I'm going to lose an erection because it's a holy one.
And then make sure that it's good material. Ain't nothing worse than having old skeet rag, player cloth that you can sneeze through and the liquid still come out the other end.
Or it's rough.
That ain't no rag. That's just some fabric. You can have no clue. Oh, Tanari. It usually gets like this towards the end of the show.
It gets crazy.
They should answer your prayers of multiple orgasms.
Yes, I wish. That's the only thing I always wanted that women could have was multiple orgasms. Yeah.
Okay.
What? I couldn't hear you. You were dropping out. I couldn't hear you.
No, I was trying to look. You never had a woman have multiple orgasms?
Yeah, a woman, yeah. But I wanted it for myself.
Oh, you want it? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, you could. Okay. Well, that takes training. It takes a lot of training down there where you can have the orgasm but cut the shooting off.
Oh yeah, that's edging.
Yeah, but you gotta focus. It's a lot of focus. Sometimes it's too much. I get it. My younger days, that used to be it. Be like,
well, yeah. Well, see, that's another thing too. Yeah. I'm not 25. Okay. Matter of fact, it was actually better when it was 17. Yeah, that was the shit.
No, I wasn't at 17.
It was great. It was great. Stay away from YouTube. Yeah, that's like. Let me ask you a question too. Change the subject.
Sure.
I tried to drop a link on on a video that YouTube had on here, and it wouldn't let me drop the link. It wouldn't even put it up there.
You tried to drop a link here or
no? It was on the Smart Show, because he was talking about, he had a comment about some video about a gay man's choir, and people were all upset about it. But the actual video was on YouTube, so maybe they were planning on blocking that video. And yeah, I had dropped the link on there.
Mm-hmm. Hey, BB Nice, how are you?
Yeah, I had dropped the link on there twice. Mm-hmm. First I thought I just didn't do it.
Yeah.
And I was like, and he had, messaged me back, and I said, "Oh, I dropped. Here's the link right there," and then it just never showed up. But the video was on there.
Okay. Was it a black choir or just a mixed?
No,
choir?
It was a white. It was San Francisco Gay Men's Choir.
They're Gay Men's Choir. Oh, okay.
And people are just want something to be upset about, and it was nothing. And a lot of people hadn't seen it, so yeah. But I didn't know they were doing all that censoring.
Oh, they try to censor everything now. Mm. They don't want to offend anybody.
Oh. Hell with them.
I mean, pretty much. That's why I don't necessarily do have my other stuff up there, because it's like, you're going to knock it down anyway or send it to limited people, so might as well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. What Patty Dick say? You give them to your husband, Patty? He's a blessed man.
Okay, so I guess if you already blessed and you have a blessed rag, then you're double blessed. Then I guess. Mm-hmm. But then I don't take everybody's blessings. So I'll pass on that.
Especially not some of that rag.
Yeah, you might go from being blessed to being shrimpy. You're gonna be careful.
Mm. You gotta be careful. Well, it's so warm. This temperature's so hot, you'd be dehydrated. You dried up, laying there looking like an old raisin.
Dry and dusty.
Tenari just looks for you on Tuesdays and Fridays.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, because Thursdays are gone, y'all.
Yeah, Thursdays are done. I mean, it was fun while they lasted sometimes, but
yeah.
With everything, you move, you grow.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't use a rag. Oh,
Patty. Okay, Patty. All right.
She can say my name. Patty.
Patty. Yeah. Show them skills, girl. Show them skills.
That's what you need to say for the nightcap. Clearly,
I'm so proud of you. No, don't wait this nightcap.
And
get it while you can get it.
I blame Nate because you've opened up a lot of these people's other sides with your candidness.
How did I do that? It's only facts of life. Can't be too upset.
That is true.
That's the facts of life. Stuff that people don't talk about. Yeah, this shit is real.
Yeah, that part, very real. Right.
You say you don't know why Thursdays was gone. No, they should have taken a break. They should have taken a break.
Yeah.
For the summer.
Yeah. I mean, that probably would have happened if not the other situation that happened. And I just felt like, okay, enough's enough.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because some other stuff going on. So
you can't just be. I mean, granted, we don't all have to be like homeboys, but there should be some kind of level of respect. Like, I'm not gonna overstep.
Yeah,
gonna overstep.
Yeah, it's just a mutual. It's just a mutual respect.
Like, it's a mutual respect. Like, you're not gonna overstep anyone. Go too far out the box, even if they involved in something. You kind of keep your mouth like. But for other reasons, that was not, I guess feasible for them for whatever reasons. It looks more financial, but then at the end of the day, it's like,
Yeah.
was it really worth it? Because was it really worth it? Because now when people do, they're doing exactly what you started. You know what I'm saying? So it's like you gave them exactly what they wanted. You let it go, to then therefore they just picked it right back up, changed it a little bit, but still same format. Like, so it's like, what do you?
Yeah.
You worried about people talking about it? They talking about it because they want to do it, but they can't do it while you're doing it
While you're doing it, but now that it's out there, it really has. It's like you drop some money on the ground. It's not yours anymore.
Right.
Somebody else picks it up.
Right. Somebody else picks it up, and they're gonna take it, and then they may take that money and go shopping with it and buy something else or do whatever with. So it's just like, you did that. You messed that up.
Yeah.
You messed that up.
Patty, write a note, Patty. Because matter of fact, while I'm sitting here, I'm writing a post-it note. So I used to have a terrible habit of not writing down shit and then trying to remember it later on. Patty Dukes and her man. That's Patty and her man.
I'm gonna get that question out.
I want to know.
Remember to ask this question.
Mm-hmm. Right. I know it is. And I had another one. I had to use my little post-it note. See, this is my post-it. This is my post-it note. Because we read and it's just so much stuff, and you always forget it.
Yeah, that is true. You do.
Like the blueprint. Yes, we could use the blueprint.
Okay, not the blueprint. Mm-hmm. I mean, pretty much. I mean, and more power to them. I mean, it works, but it's like you gave up something or gave into something that, if people were talking about eyes, boring eyes, this is that, people were still watching, and it was still something different. I mean, every time I go to somebody else's platform, just to sit in and watch, people still talk about it. So,
Oh yeah, it made an impact.
Yeah, it did.
And I was actually looking forward to. You were supposed to get 2 more panelists, a trans girl.
Oh yeah.
And a I guess another a straight guy.
And I don't know what happened with that, but I personally, and it is just me speaking, so please don't, if you go back and say it, I said it. I just think the person was just looking at what was more lucrative instead of just looking at what's more impactful.
Yeah.
Because the lucrative part will come. Like, you don't and I don't understand that about this portion of YouTube. I ain't gonna say it's sector because it's not. It's just a portion of YouTube. YouTube is quite vast. And the crazy bit is YouTube will introduce you to people of different areas of YouTube. If you keep liking certain things, they keep going, well, that person that you likes this. You might be interested in this too. That's how they do it. So it's not as if somebody's like, oh, where's this?
Yeah, well, that's how I found this.
Yeah, that's not. Where's the sector with the beef? It's just that's how it happens. So the thing was always to kind of broaden the horizons, which should have been done in the first place. But I get it. You got to build your little groundwork, first or whatever. But yeah, I just think it was just like, oh well, that ain't gonna make me, no money, and I'm like,
well, Tenari, I was lit earlier. I ain't gonna lie, I was lit. I had a big glass. I must have gulped it down too fast. I was blurred. I was blurred. But anyhow, yeah, with that, and I thought about that a little bit, as far as it being lucrative for that person, and I had to put myself in that place because even though I'm much older than that person,
Yeah, but it still
when-
didn't make sense. It didn't make sense to me in the sense where if you have other forms of income,
Mhm.
then why is that so a thing for you?
Well, because it wasn't panning out. Let me tell you, when you get older, it's real hard to find a job the way that we're used to it. We're used to having, like, nowadays everybody's pretty much the gig work type thing.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we're used to having jobs with benefits or whatever. You can maintain a household or whatever. But when you are a black man that you're maintaining your home yourself, you have no, you have no safety net.
Yeah.
And I remember that person, and that's what drew me to that person in the very beginning. That this person was out here hustling, that type of thing. And if you get to the point, you'll never know how close he might have been, if he was going to lose his home or whatever and whatever. And it makes you do things. So everything becomes about the hustle.
Right.
It becomes about the hustle. And
but I think honestly, but sorry to cut you off, but for us, for me, really speaking, and I can say for us, truly, if that was conveyed, we would have worked a way to make it like work. You know what I'm saying? Make it work the way it was that way. Because that that was crazy. Like that didn't make no sense to me, and it still doesn't.
But I think it's because of where it is, where everything is, and maybe they just don't trust like that.
Yeah, no, that part is very evident.
Yeah, but, I mean, because you know what? Because that actually bled over. You could see it. That it just the interactions on some things. That there wasn't a basic trust. We knew y'all weren't going hanging out at the club or nothing like that. Type of thing. But even though you would still have a basic respect as being a black man.
Yeah, that's all it was. Like a basic respect of person. Like I don't see myself going, oh, let's go have some drinks. Not, but we can be cool.
Yeah, I got it.
Hey, girl. Hey.
Hey, Tanari.
Hey. I was just saying, cap or conscious is it's not even considered to be in the beef sector.
No, I mean I never really did. Like, to be honest, I never really considered myself to be in there. Like, yeah, I hung around people who were, and at that time, and I still didn't. And even when people would call me and be like, "Hey, you're not supposed to be in that chat, but watch where you drop down. Don't do this and don't do that." I was like, to all due respect, I go where I want to go. I speak to who I want to speak to. And if that person, whoever's sending you this information, has a problem with it, I mean, I know who it was now, and we should all know who it was. But
right,
I'm just like, I don't even rock like that in real life, and I'm not gonna do that on the computer that I can go shut down. Like, that's stupid to me. So I never understood that, and because of that, that's really what led to this whole, I can't stand it. I can't. No, because I'm not willing to bow down to whatever kind of thing you got going here. Like, if this boosts your ego and make you think that you are grand dame, you could have it. Because this is not where it is. If that's the case, your self-esteem is so low, I can't even help you pick it up. I wouldn't even try if I could. So,
well, when people are used to being looped up in the same old thing, it is what it is on that one. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so you don't do anything that says beef sector.
Right.
You do the political and wellness. You used to do the midday. I missed the midday, actually.
Yeah,
I missed it, but I understand. And you do the nightcap, and the nightcap is grown folks' conversation that says nothing about beef.
Right, but people think that I shouldn't be here because I'm not beefing, And so what they try to do is like, make me beef by kind of pushing and egging. And it's like, no, trust me, I have plenty comebacks, but I just don't, for me, it's not worth it. Like, it's really not worth it.
Mm-hmm.
For you to go back and forth with me for what?
You gonna go back and forth with somebody about politics and wellness?
Right, that's what I'm saying. Like, if you really want to go back and forth with me, then we
something more important.
We can talk about something more important, and we can agree to disagree. But if you're gonna go back and forth, you think I'm gonna go back and forth with you because you don't like me and you never liked me? It's like I give a shit because I don't.
Mm-hmm.
So
right, and I did not get to sing happy birthday to you. I ain't singing it tonight, but I forgot. I told you happy birthday. You got my message, but I ain't singing tonight because I had some nightcap drinks.
You did, and I did get your message, and thank you. It's still cancer season, so we got 2 more days. Okay,
got 2 more days. Yeah,
boy, you down to the last minute, huh?
My mom and my brother was on the 14th of July.
Okay.
My other brother was yesterday, and my nephew is tomorrow. All these cancers around me, they drive me nuts.
Yes. That's what we do. But you love us because we're great people.
Yes, I love you all. Y'all are crazy, but I love y'all. That fish sign seem to do something with that water sign that don't always mix, but me and you ain't never had that issue.
Yeah, no. I don't have that issue with a lot of people. It's just certain people but I know those people. Like, I instantly know those people. When I interact with them or encounter them, I know yeah, this is going to be an issue. And it turns out to be an issue, but I don't make it an issue. I just wait, just bide my time to be like, okay, here it comes. That's all. But no, I already know. And no, we never had an issue and we won't.
No, we won't. I love just to see you smiling and to see you not, because whether people realize it or not, but cancers can really go in when they want to. And a lot of people don't even realize that. They think that y'all are just so passive, and y'all are not.
No, I am far from not being passive. I can be really nasty if I want to, but like I said, sometimes for me, it has to be worth it. And if it's really not worth it, or I basically feel that the person's not worth it, I'm not going to waste my energy.
Yeah. And you match energy with energy. And I noticed that one thing about you.
I definitely
do. Go on a whole energy thing. And it don't matter who you are.
It's all that frankincense and myrrh.
Yeah.
You know what?
If he ain't feeling your energy, he ain't being bothered with you. And that's something that I noticed early on.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it don't take long for him. I've seen his attitude change on a dime.
Yeah.
Woo. Yeah, I was like looking at my mama. I seen that and I was like, oh, okay, so you I got it. Okay. Yeah. So when you not feeling something,
yeah.
No, I was like, what did I miss? I missed something. Let me run that back. I think I missed something.
When people people would send me comments like your face right here when that person said this,
but Nate,
me up.
But Nate and see, so I had my mom watch one of the political and wellness with me, right? And she said I wouldn't have never known that he was a Cancer because his face is just like yours. It speak everything you feeling before you even say any word out your mouth.
Yeah. But I've always been that way. Like I'd be anywhere. My mom would fix your face. And I'm like, what? I'd be thinking can we get out of here?
You don't even know what's wrong.
Yeah, and I'm thinking I'm just giving.
You're thinking it.
Face,
it was so funny because she was like, "What you listening to?" When I was explaining to her what it was that I was listening to, and she was just watching Cat face, and she was like, "Ooh, y'all making the same faces. I don't know about this."
Well, because for me, if I read I don't really pay attention to comments like that. But if I am always watching and reading them. So if I read something that's kind of like, okay, you
Oh no, you can tell when you've read it.
Yeah, right, exactly. Like when I've read it, when I'm like, what? Yeah, that's when it's usually like, okay, you're going too far, and you almost gonna make me like do whatever his name was, Apocalypse. Yeah, wait. You know, it's like at first I don't mind because you could have a difference of opinion than that's not, that's what it's about. But when she's a bitch, like, hold that noise. Like now you're just trying to do it to have other people talk about this whole situation that's happening, and I'm not about to give you that energy. Like you're not even worth it. Plus, you're not even, piranha teeth.
I say, Patty would say the beef sector is not a Ponzi scheme anyway. It kind of seems that way.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. That's my point in this whole thing. It's almost like, it seems as if groups of people get together when it's around about that time before the checks are divvied out to be like, all right, let's beef with somebody so we could, rally up some coins. And it's just like, let people give to you because they want to, or because they appreciate your content, not because you constantly have to go back and forth with so and so and this one and that one. Like, for example, the when 5A posted a picture, then everybody was dogging CarMax. It's like it's a dealership. Why are we sitting up here busting down a dealership because she happened to get her car from CarMax? Like, grow the fuck up. Like, the fuck are we doing? So that's why I posted the picture of Lexor, which I needed. But that was years. I've had that for a long time, so it's old now. But I did that because it's like it's you look stupid, you sound silly. It's a car dealership like any other. What does it matter?
People go where they can get a car from. Period.
I mean, or where the best deal is. Period.
Yeah, that's what you want to do now.
I mean, granted, we don't know who she may know that have worked there and say, "Hey, girl, come here. I got you.
I'll hook you up."
And before CarMax, and we got to remember, before CarMax, it was a such thing called JD Byrider in most of our towns. I've had 2 cars from JD Byrider before CarMax.
As long as the car starts.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. As long as it starts and go and it's in this range, what the hell does it matter? And then now we're talking about who dropped cash for theirs and who's making payments. We're going too far, people. Going too far.
Yeah.
I don't know. All I just need my car to go from A to Z.
To B. That's the point of it. Like, if you were blessed to drop all your dollars on it, great.
Right.
Yeah.
But I love you guys. I'm gonna hop down. I just wanted to make sure that I came.
Glad you came to visit us.
I love y'all. If we have a nightcap Friday, I'll be here.
Yes, ma'am.
Oh, it's an ambulance pulling in here, so I know I'm finna get off.
Oh, all right.
All right, guys. Love y'all.
Love you too.
Bye.
But yeah, I just think that some of it is just really over the top for no reason. But whatever works. I mean, it's entertaining. I watch it, but I think it's necessary all the time. No.
Yeah, I think that's what gets on my nerves. It's like all the time.
It's like all the time. Every time somebody does something or a particular person does something, it's like you gotta attack that person. Like, for what? It makes you look crazy. If every time a person that you does something, you have to respond to it. It makes you look really insane. And then we talk about this one's a cult, that one's a cult. And yet the people who calling other people cults act more cultish. Trust me, I've been involved. I know who's more cultish than the other. And I'm not saying that because I don't know. I wasn't involved in that. But the one that be talking about
a lot of it does. And that kind of worries me because you reach through this screen, you reach so many people.
Yeah, that's it.
And
whether you know it or
are,
not, whether you know it or not, it's like you still reach people. So it's like you are casting influence on people, and you have to always be knowledgeable of that. And I just think that even with the situation that didn't involve me, that included me, and then for a few days I just got dragged to the point where I was like, really? And that's why I posted the picture I posted, because it's like, you sound stupid. First of all, you don't know me, you never met me. So
can I say one thing about that picture you posted? You should have wore some panties.
I don't wear panties.
They got men's panties. Shit. Don't they, Patty? I know Patty knows.
I don't wear panties. Here,
what they call men's? Men's lingerie? No.
Of any kind.
Of any kind. Oh. Okay.
Yeah. So,
but they do, don't they, Patty? I know you know.
They boxer briefs. I mean, they do. I've had somebody mail me some, but I don't wear them.
Oh, well, you know, always accept gifts.
Yeah, I mean, thank you, but I don't wear them. But you know, even that, it was just like, well, why you?
Yeah, that was crazy. I was like, where did all this come from?
Right. And then
sometimes you just have to sit back and you can it clears its own way. You can see where it is coming from.
But that's what I'm saying. That's what it's just like, you know what? I'm not even going to respond, because you're doing this to make somebody else feel better about your presence in their space. That you despise me just as much as that person does, only because I said the both of you should not be talking about XYZ. Not one more than the other, just the both of you, in my opinion. That's it. So, you know, whether or not I overstepped the boundary, okay, but I wasn't thinking that there was boundaries, because, again, this is YouTube. We're not in a thing. It's not a gang. I didn't get jumped in to get jumped out. I just had a difference of opinion. Now, maybe a different side of me would say, well, maybe you could have went privately and said something. But me, myself, I don't even operate like that. Again, we're dealing with how I operate in real life to how you possibly would want me to be here, so it don't look a certain way. No, I operate the same way I operate in real life. So I wouldn't have done that. I would have just said, if I was standing in the group of y'all, listen, we shouldn't do this. You can say, oh, the hell, cool. But to keep this going as if I'm constantly always saying, I don't even care what you're doing. So why is there always, because then it starts to get to me, or look to me as in, it has nothing to do with me as a person. It has everything to do with me or what I look like. And what I look like, I'm sorry that you, you know, the cheekbones are not, they're inherited. So sorry. Or the reason why people may go, oh, he's handsome. Sorry. But, you know, I don't fill my head up with that and be like, oh, yeah, I know I look good. I know I look good because I know I look good because I know me. But as far as anybody else saying that to me and making me feel like, ooh, I'm on top of the world because so-and-so said, no, thank you, but I got this. So it's confusing me. But I will say, early on, before I even really got involved, there was one person in particular who probably still is on YouTube, but not as much anymore, was just like, be cautious, because they are jealous of you. And I was just like, what do you mean? Like, that's ridiculous. Like, why? I'm not even, like, trust and believe, jealous. And I was like, eh. And I shrugged it off, totally like, you talking out the side of your ass. But every little bit, it was just like, okay, well. And then with the final thing, it was like, yeah, okay, maybe you were actually something I just didn't see. I just didn't want to see it. I didn't think people would, you know, that's high school. Like, When you get grown, you get grown. But again, I learned that doesn't mean anything, especially being in here. It's just like,
oh no.
What is that?
You may have a big old body, but still have a 12-year-old mind.
Right. Or still be that person that wasn't popular.
That same insecure person.
And that's your wellness for the day.
Yeah, because it will definitely tell here.
Yeah.
I've seen some real strange stuff, and I was like, oh my god, these are grown ass people.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's what gets me. It's like this is stuff that will last and linger.
Especially when you haven't seen them, they just use the avatars, and then it's like, oh my god, that motherfucker got more gray hair than I do. And I was like, and you just remembering the stuff that comes
that
out
was
of the
coming
keyboard,
out of their mouth.
you know.
Yeah.
And I'm like, are you kidding me?
Right. Like we would never in person ever.
No.
Like,
no.
I wouldn't even associate myself in real life, like real life. It'd be like if we work together, hi, bye. If we, you know what I'm saying? And that's just being cordial and respectful. That's it. So it really is it really is bewildering to me. Yeah. She said, I'm glad you bring some wellness.
Yes, because it's definitely needed.
Yeah, no. And it's all about, checking yourself. And we don't do that a lot. We don't have people in our circles that check us, and it's okay for somebody to go, hey, that's a little bit out of line, and no need to take offense to it and think that the person was degrading you and talking about your family or your upbringing. Because if that's what you felt from all that, then that said more about you than it did about what the person said. But it's just it. Now, just like thrown by. Even Lipstick Alley had this picture of this Puerto Rican guy with this long hair talking about, so this is what captivating Christian thinks what he looks like. I'm like, absolutely not. I know I'm black. Like, because the man's pretty, you think I think I'm pretty? I know that I have a pretty side to me. I've always had it. I didn't just, wake up one day and it's like, you know what? I am pretty. I've always known that. My family has always known that. My cousin, God rest his soul, he passed away, but he would always, every time he saw me, he'd tell his wife, he'd tap his wife, don't he look like a news anchor? He looked perfect. He looked like a news anchor. And I just be like, little kid just be like, what are you talking about? Like, I just make sure that I look okay. Like, go out here purposely like I have to be perfect. No, I just I don't get it. So again, it's all about confidence. It's the difference from cockiness and confidence. Nobody can tell me who I am. I know who I am. You can say what you want about me, but it's all about what I answer to, what I choose to answer to, that makes the entire difference. And a lot of times we answer to a lot of things people say, especially on here, and it's unnecessary. It's not needed. If you know,
a lot of people come here to get an ego boost.
Yeah, that's
I've seen that. It's like that vampire type thing.
Right,
I'm feeding off of that energy.
Yeah, right.
I'm out here feeding off that energy.
Right, and it's like
now there might be a lot of other sucking going on, but they come to get that energy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Making them bus trips and stuff like.
And that's a whole nother thing. There's nothing wrong with having a trip with people that you admire and look up to and hang out with. Why does it always have to be something sexual? Why does it always have to be some kind of scandal or like, oh, this is the
but that shows the immaturity right there.
But from grown folks.
Well, believe me, like I said, a 12-year-old and a big ass old body.
That's just crazy to me.
No, that's just sad. It's just sad because they bring a lot of that with them.
Yeah.
And here you've been on this earth in this existence for such a long time, and you still don't get it. Sometimes you have to sit down and do a Queen Latifah moment when she did Bessie Smith. You're sitting in front of the mirror with your titties hanging and saying, "What the fuck am I?" You know.
And you look at your real self.
Yeah. You look at your real self. Yes, they do say. Yes, they do.
Alrighty. Yeah, we're gonna head on out anyway. Patty Duke said she gotta go.
Go Patty Duke.
Right. Patty.
I still wrote that note.
He did, and he will take it later.
Yeah, now we will remember.
It's a question.
Yeah.
Not big old ass body. Yeah, big old.
Yeah, big old ass bodies.
Hey, Summer Breeze, how are you? Thank you.
Yeah, and it's sad when you still have that mentality of an immature person. And people are looking at you, you know.
Yeah, but I even thought like a lot of the olders would have a different type of mentality. Like even Chatter Teeth. You like, oh, he sounds like Michael Jackson. Like, the fuck you look like? Talking about somebody sound like Michael Jackson and you in a whole like fake mausoleum with fake artifacts that ain't real. It's like, come on, sir. Don't do that. Like, be constructive. Like, granted, I get it. If everybody's saying it, maybe you want to join in the bandwagon, but you're much older. You should be giving wisdom instead of trying to give, like, you know, whatever you're trying to give. That's just my thing. Like, sometimes, cool, it's okay to crack a joke. We've grown up that way to where in which, you know, you crack a joke, but you should be giving some wisdom, not just dumb, some whiz, and not just dumb. But, you know, I
don't know. Maybe they're trying to reclaim something they didn't get in their youth. You know, maybe they weren't a part of a group or something.
You better hurry up because it's fading. It's fading. Hurry up.
Who's knocking at that door? Shit. I don't think I want to answer.
Name starts with D, but it ain't D.
I thought they were urns. I was like, God damn, that's a lot of. That ain't the family. I thought I thought they were urns. I thought they were urns the first time I saw it. That's why I stay up in the clouds. I don't say anything at all.
If I do, I just say hello, depending, and then I just say.
No, I think the only one I've dropped down is Rebel and and Conscious. I mean, but he has some good topics. His topics are just so unusual that things that we need to be talking about anyway.
Right. But he does so much research on it. Like, when do you have the time to do that?
Yeah, I'm like, God damn.
You be
those 4 or 5 hour marathons.
Right. And this time we just getting started. Where?
Wait a minute. I'm looking at the count. You've been on here for 3 hours.
Right. Like a Baptist church. Like, I'm not doing this again.
Seriously. I was like, I hope they got some food downstairs.
Right. I pop in and pop out. Right. Tell me, I smell chicken cooking. That must be Cynthia making the chicken.
You can go make a place, sit down and eat comfortably and come back. And they're still right there.
Right.
That's still there.
Yeah. But all right, guys, I am going to roll out. It was great, as always. You guys have a blessed night. Thank you, Brother Nate, for popping on. It's always a pleasure. Friday, I will double check. I don't know what Antonio's doing, but if he is busy, because I think his fiance's birthday is, if it hasn't passed, it's coming soon. I know he's a kid. Then we'll just do it and swing it. But yeah, we will have a nightcap session pretty soon. So be on the lookout for that. But until next time, America, be safe. You might have to mask up again. And
just do it anyway. Just do it anyway. Just do it anyway.
Please. And
because that's the problem right there.
Yeah.
Because everybody
is the problem, because a lot of people did not, and they just refused to take the thing. So then it was just like, of course, it would mutate into something greater because you're dealing with two forces. But, that's too much like, right. Anyway, yeah, so, mask up, be safe, God bless, stay cool, and moisturize. Can't stress that enough. Moisturize. We don't want no dusty.
Don't be ashy. Don't be ashy.
Don't be dry. Okay?
Or parched.
That part.
Drink your fluids.
Drink your fluids. The cold
your
one.
Beverages.
The cold one.
The beverages.
The cold one.
Specify.
Had to check that one. Drink your fluids. The cold one.
There's all kinds of fluids, but
please drink the cold one.
They come from a bottle.
Yeah.
Or a can. Or a can. That's right. Not organic.
No, we ain't doing that. Just move my stuff out the way. Hold on. There we go. I was about to say, where'd my stuff go? All right. Well, until next time, America, we're out.
Good night.